I am about to show you how one single lie led to the deaths of 85 million people. Imagine it's 1935. The world is terrified of another war. And then Adolf Hitler gets in front of the entire planet and says he wants peace more than anything. He sounded so convincing, so reasonable. But here's the insane part. In the exact same year he was saying this, he was secretly building a super army. He was drafting 500,000 soldiers, creating a brand new air force, and building a war machine that would destroy the world. He said one thing in public, but did the complete opposite in private. And that single lie started a countdown to the deadliest war in human history. To understand how he got away with this, we have to rewind. It's Germany, 1919. World War I is over, and the winners blame Germany for everything. They forced them to sign the Treaty of Versailles, but this wasn't a peace treaty. It was a punishment. The winners basically told Germany, you lose everything. They took away their land. They redrew their borders, and their giant army, it was shrunk down to just 100,000 men. No tanks, no air force, no conscripting new soldiers. It was forbidden. Germans called it the dictated shame. Can you even imagine how that feels? It was a national humiliation. Jobs were gone, money became worthless, and the entire country was depressed and angry. So when a guy comes along and promises to tear up that treaty and make Germany strong again, it doesn't sound crazy. To millions of people, it sounded like hope. It sounded like a promise to bring back their pride, and they were desperate for it. Now, fast forward back to 1935. Hitler has been in charge for 2 years, and he knows the world is watching him, so he goes on a massive PR tour. On the radio and in movie theaters, he preached peace to the entire world. He literally told reporters, Germany needs peace, and no one here wants war. He even warned that another war would destroy all of Europe. He promised to respect other countries and even offered to sign peace deals with them. It was the ultimate performance. And the craziest part? The entire world believed him. People cheered for him. Diplomats were relieved. Newspapers in London and Paris printed giant headlines that said, Hitler wants peace. They were so desperate for it to be true. Every country was broke from the Great Depression, and nobody wanted to even think about another war. So they fell for the lie, hook, line, and sinker. But while the world was celebrating, Hitler was doing something unbelievable in secret. On March 16, 1935, just after his big peace speeches, he signed a law to rebuild the German military. He literally took the Treaty of Versailles and threw it in the trash. He brought back conscription, forcing men into the army. And that army of 100,000? His new goal was 550,000, and he didn't stop there. 10 days later, he announced the Luftwaffe, a brand new German air force. But this wasn't new at all. They had been secretly training pilots and building warplanes for 2 years. The lie was now exposed. That treaty that was supposed to prevent a war? It was now just meaningless confetti. So you'd think the world would freak out, right? Wrong. They did almost nothing. France protested a little bit, but that's it. Britain sent a strongly worded letter and then did something even crazier. They signed the Anglo-German Naval Agreement. Get this. Instead of punishing him, Britain signed a new deal with him, basically saying, okay, you can have a navy. It was completely insane. The League of Nations, which was created to stop exactly this, just condemned him and did nothing else. It was all empty words. Why? Because they were scared. Politicians didn't want to tell their people they might have to fight again. Their countries were broke from the Depression. Some people even thought a stronger Germany could be useful against the Soviet Union. So they chose to do nothing. They ignored the problem, hoping it would just go away. It was a massive gamble, and the stakes were the future of the world. Hitler watched the world do nothing and learned a terrifying lesson. They were too scared to ever stop him. He knew their threats were empty. So his 1935 lie became the exact blueprint for what he did next. In 1936, he gambled again. He sent troops into the Rhineland, which was supposed to be a demilitarized zone. And what happened? Nothing. This proved he could get away with anything. So he took Austria in 1938. Again, the world just complained. Then he took Czechoslovakia later that year after Britain and France literally gave it to him, hoping it would finally make him stop. Every single time he used the same playbook. Promise peace, but take what you want. By 1939, that army he started building in secret was now one of the most powerful and advanced in the world. The Luftwaffe he built in secret was the biggest air force in Europe. Meanwhile, the other countries were years behind. The world's decision to do nothing had backfired in the worst way possible. World War II had begun, and it all started with a lie they chose to believe. One lie plus 1 year can equal a catastrophe. The next time a leader says, "I only want peace," you have to remember 1935. Remember what they're doing, not just what they're saying. The difference between words and actions is the most important warning sign in the world. So to recap, Hitler promised peace to the whole world while secretly building one of the deadliest armies in history. The Treaty of Versailles had left Germany feeling humiliated, but Hitler's 1935 lie left the world completely destroyed. He publicly promised peace to hide his secret plan for war, and it should have been a giant red flag. But because the world was too scared, too broke, and too desperate for peace, they just let him do it. In just 4 years, those secret factories and soldiers became a machine that killed millions of people. The deadliest war in history didn't start with a surprise invasion. It started with a polite speech and a giant lie that the entire world agreed to believe.